Hi folks, Smarmy Fish here. Hope you're doing well. I just want to make a quick video today about some solo farming that I've been doing in Ashes of Creation on my Bard. I can show you the spot, the talents, give you a bit of a guide there, give you a little bit of a run through, and some of the reasoning as well. So I'll start with why solo farming. Many of you will look at this and go, why aren't you just in Oakenbane Keep? Why aren't you just in Highwayman Hills? Although I'm 14 now, so I would be going elsewhere, but I'd want you in Oakenbane Keep. Right now, it's really quiet. There's not really many groups going. Um, I found over this weekend, we're into Sunday morning now, but over the weekend, there's been a ton of griefers on in Oakenbane. Shout out to them; they're having their fun, right? But that's caused a couple of wipes. I was in like 20k XP debt from being in a group. I was like, okay, this is not working. And a guy that I was running around with introduced me to this spot, and we duo farmed it for a little bit from like sort of 12 to 13, and I wondered if there was a way I could do this myself, particularly as I got high level and got better gear. So I built a talent build, and I've been doing that successfully from 13 to 14 on my own. Although you can bring in a duo, anything more than a duo, and I think the XP gets a little bit nerfed. Let's get into where it is then. So northwest of Miraleth and north of Oakenbane Keep, very, very close, just north of the crater, is this hill just here, right? And at the very top of the hill, you will find yourself king of the hill. You have to excuse my graphics are really set to low because my computer's struggling with this. I'm getting a new PC later this year. You'll see a bunch of huts and a ton of level 12 elites, the Ash and Flame elites. And you can very comfortably solo most of these. Um, so what would I suggest you do? And don't do it here quickly. I would kill the Ashen Flame Warriors, the Disciples, and I'd kill the Summoners. And then I would leave the packs of 2 or 3 alone if you can. These split up so you can grab them, but I would absolutely leave the Streamweavers alone. Streamweavers, wherever they may be, there's one here. Yep, they suck. They have a lot of shielding. They do a decent amount of damage, and in all honesty, I think with the respawns being what they are, you can probably go ahead and just kill everything else. My build does deal with the summoner spawns as well. I'll talk about that in a second. In fact, we'll get into that now. So I'll give you a little run through of this in a minute. I'll do a live version, but I want to quickly give you an idea of my build and the rotation. So we start with Anthem of Electricity. I'm always going to say that wrong. Apologies. So it buffs my magical speed, casting speed by 25% for 10 seconds, which is really nice. Straight into a Wander. It may be better be the other way around, to be quite honest, with Wander lasting 30 seconds. I find that the fights last more than 20 seconds, so I'd rather have Wander for the most part. Um, but you can use those either way around. I'm just doing some testing now. So you can start with Anthem, then into Wander, then I hit a Discordance for the little bit of damage and some staggered. And then I hit a Quick Wit to give them the debuff, demoralize, and obviously some damage. I also have the Fierce Wit as well, which applies some burning to them too. And then I wait. And I wait for my wands. They should be in melee at this point, or I will be into melee, and I'll show you that in a second. And I wait for the debuffs to apply, and I want 5 debuffs, and I can apply most of those debuffs myself. As soon as I see there's 5 debuffs that have been applied, I hit them with a stun, and that could be my 5th, I believe that counts. And then I hit them with Dark Lullaby. And that Lullaby, which is buffed by Menacing Melody, as you can see by the gold border, and I'll get to this in a sec, that does more damage for each debuff they have up to 5. Hence the whole proccing and setup. And what this means is you have a nice amount of control, nice amount of damage, and it looks and feels really nice. And you can do that on single targets and very comfortably farm for a while. You have a little bit of backup as well. I don't have Pensive Melody. It's just on my bars for when I'm in groups. But Lovely Serenade is my main heal, my main throughput that keeps me up and around. I haven't really had any issues with mana right now, although you could do some fiddling around and perhaps take Hymn of the Mind. That's a decent amount of mana. Or you could just have a drink at some point. All the good mobs are going to be dead, and you're going to want time to relax. But honestly, I've not had a massive problem with despawns. Then I'll show you some of the spots where you can farm up on the hill as well. Going into the talents, obviously the main thing that you want to be proccing is Resonant Weapon. That does a lot of damage. I'm using a wand, and I'll get to those talents in a second. But with a is it menacing? Yeah, menacing melody. It applies shocked and it also deals damage. So you just do lots of damage, and I'll get to the one talent in a bit. You have 2 charges of quick wit. That's you could take that out happily. I have it just for safety, so I have um, 2 opportunities to put demoralized on them. I know that the debuff lasts as long as the cooldown of quick wit, but it's nice to have a refresh when I go into my lullaby. So I want that debuff up, but if it's only got 2 or 3 seconds left and I go into the lullaby cast, I refresh it first, then I go into the lullaby because the damage doesn't stay the same amount as it was on the first proc. It will, if the debuffs run off, lullaby's damage will go down. So it takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's nice to have 2 charges to freshen that up. It really depends on how lucky you are with the procs. I have got Mesmerizing Dance. That's the stun. That's really important. You could take Marionette, but it's a longer cast time. But that would also make it safer. So you're out of melee range. But in all honesty, I've never had any issues with melee as killing me or anything like that. Taking song mastery for harmony. So um, it basically procs my menacing melody, procs my lullaby, makes it do 30% more damage. Really nice. You see the gold border. You could take something else here. You could take like dissonance, for instance, but this is for buffing everybody else. So maybe for a duo. But if you're really duoing, you're probably just a mana battery, right? For my other skill at the top level, I picked Music Mastery Crescendo. Have just been tweaking around with this. I'm not too sure what's the best option in this talent point. I will not make a comment on this right now. I've just put this one. Over the course of the 20-second channel, you get more of an effect, so you can just cast that straight off the bat. And then, of course, take a Wander. So that's the talent build there. And then I am using a wand. I will say I'm not claiming to be an expert. This is just what I'm using. Please feel free to give me suggestions in the comments if you feel like I could do something else to make my build easier, better, more efficient, whatever. But of course, I've taken chilling. I already have volatile. I believe I already have burning. Yes, I do. So chilling is the one effect that I don't have. I have trigger chance increased by, I think that's 30%. Yep, for deadly finishes. I have a little bit more base damage. Increase the duration of all weapon proc effects, obviously very important. Refreshing follow through, just a little bit of mana sustain. A little bit more extended finisher damage. I'm just going to sneeze 1 second. Oof, blew my brains out. And then I've got taken special extended finisher for the Echo. Now, you could take perfect timing. For those of you who don't know Echo, let's have a. Oh, I just rolled. Echo, when you damage an enemy with an ability within 5 seconds, it strikes again for bonus damage. Or you could take perfect timing, which reduces the cooldown of the next ability you cast by 5 seconds. I feel like Echo is probably the better option. More damage is more good, but you can have a bit of a play around. I've played with both. I feel like I do more damage with Echo, but that could just be very biased, right? That could just be because I've leveled up or whatever. Bit of half and half with the talents at the top end, so more stacks of Echo and perfect timing, either or. And then also the duration. I did have 3 and 1, so 3 at the bottom, 1 at the top. Again, I'm just tweaking around, but this is what I'm going with. So let's see it in action, shall we? Let's see if I can pick out an enemy. Let's do this warrior. He's rather close. Yeah, they've just gone in. So let's do this disciple. A bit more dangerous than the others. So we can do our anthem. We do wander. We do discordance. We hit this. I'm going to come in disciples a bit more deadly at range, I believe. It feels that way at least. And I'm waiting for these. I'm just waiting for this now. I've reapplied my demoralized. There we go. Hit the stun. Straight into the lullaby. See my health's getting a little bit low. Just press Lovely Serenade. And then straight back into the rotation. You probably don't need to press Wander for this, but I might. Normally if they're around 50-40% health, I will just do the whole full rotation again. I will just press Lullaby as soon as it comes off cooldown. Sun straight to Lullaby. I got very lucky with the proc there. There you go. I'd say Disciples are one of the harder ones that you would kill. Streamweavers typically leave them alone. They're pretty difficult. At least to me, they do a lot more damage and they're a lot more harder to break through. This is very much chipping them down, but as you saw, like my health was pretty stable, my mana was really stable as well. So the sustain is really good for this. I am a bit over leveled for this as well now. I'm level 14. I'm getting to the top end, but you can see I'm still getting really decent experience. But let's do that again. Let's do that again with Wanda first, though. Let's hit this warrior. Warriors, I would say, are probably one of the easiest ones to fight. Got really lucky with the proc nice and early. Sorry for the lag. Can't wait to get a new PC. As you can see, really nice. And at times I'm stunning as well if I get lucky with procs. It may also be that the mobs are a little bit buggy as well. As you can see, I came out of that fight very healthy. Have I got my cooldowns? Yeah, let's look at the summoners. This will be the last one that I show you. These ones can be tricky. You want to get in nice and early. The Wolf Spirit is fine. If he summons that nice and early, not a problem. But of course, your AoE stun hits them both. And you just try and keep the AoE down. I honestly think the summoners are the easiest ones until they proc the eagles. But again, if you have stun up for the eagles, just stun them. And of course, don't be a moron and take the spirit explosion like I just did. And that's it. Lovely serenade yourself out of combat. And I'm very, very comfortable right now. But as a little taster of what Streamweavers look like, and to be honest, this could go anyway. Let's have a look at what Streamweavers are like. This is why I tend to avoid them. Puts a shield on himself. I'm waiting for my procs. There's the procs. Straight into the damage. She chunks me for quite a lot of health, and I could be at range, to be quite honest. I only went in for the melee. I feel like I'm getting very lucky with my wand procs, to be quite honest with you. Potato is really struggling. As you can see, they do a lot of damage. A lot of damage, and then they buff up as well. It becomes very difficult. It can get very, very squeaky at the end. So you can see it's very doable, and they do give like fairly decent XP. It's very doable, but in all honesty, I don't think it's worth the time. I don't think it's worth the stress. I think with all the respawns being as they are, you can absolutely kill the disciples, the warriors, etc. We just eat up. And then the final thing I'll show you as well in this quick video is, say quick, it's probably been about 15 minutes, is the top level, the top platform of this hill has level 12s. And then slightly down the hill, you'll have some more level 12s as well. You want to avoid the level 10s, but you can also just farm the level 10s as a level 10 and 11 and move on to 12s when you feel comfortable. But when you get to sort of level 12, you want to avoid the level 10s. They're just not worth the time, to be quite honest with you. So if it's a little bit busy on the top, you can sort of straddle, let's have a quick look, the southwest side of the top hill. And you'll see there's a couple of level 12s here. That's not too bad. Like I said at the start of the video, though, this is also perfect for duos as well, particularly like a bard and anyone else. And I've been advertising in the chat, like in global, and said to people like, if you're busy and tired of getting griefed and stuff at Oakenbane Keep, just come and duo farm with me, and it's really quick with 2 people and really, really stable. The only combo I wouldn't suggest is a cleric and a bard. I feel like you'd be a bit slow there, but your bard could go into damage, and as you can see, it's really quite doable. And I would also say I haven't even got that good gear, right? I got a decent wand. I got that as off of the marketplace. I got a decent ruby necklace. I got 1 green ring. I got some mana regen and max mana earrings. I got a fairly decent cloak. Excuse the physical power. I haven't got like masses of light armor bonuses. Like I haven't got the best gear. I've still got a lot of I've still got the bard hat on. So you don't need too much to be able to do this. I am a little bit over leveled. That's the only thing I would say now. This is the point where I'm probably going to start moving on and looking to get into Oakenbane groups. But if you've been watching my chat, I've not seen a single one advertised. So it's been a quiet morning. But hopefully in the afternoon, as people get online, it should be a bit better. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. I hope you found it valuable. If you have any comments, questions, please do let me know. But yeah, see you in the next one.